What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Venator Trading 10K to $2 million funding challenge. It is Wednesday, November 15th, 7 a.m. New York time. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you might be in the world. Hope you're having a great day. My day's just getting started. Had a horrible night. I woke up just couldn't breathe. I'm just completely stopped up. I don't know if this is allergies or what it is, but it sucks. I was like sick like 2 or 3 weeks ago, started getting over it, and now I feel like it's just back. It's the only way I can describe it is I just feel like it's back, and I don't know why. So that sucks. Throat is not feeling great. Just all clogged up. Head hurts. So, it's going to be a fun stream. But glad you guys are in. We will be, doing the same thing we do every day, just watching price, seeing if we can find a setup that fits our criteria and see if we can capitalize on it. We were in a trade yesterday from Pound Aussie that I called out pretty much right after we got off the stream. We had this break of structure here. We had a run of liquidity, and we were tapped up into this weekly fair value gap. And I had said, if I see displacement outside of this area, away from it, I would be looking for sells. And we did get that displacement away. We broke structure multiple levels. Right here, we had this little pullback above into this fair value gap that was created off of, you could either use this breaker or this small little breaker here, either one, it didn't really matter. I was really just taking this fair value gap entry off of these violated fair value gaps over here. And I was targeting a 1 to 2.1. Price did pull away, and then it just bounced around until the end of the session. I ended up closing it out for a 1R win yesterday. I don't like holding trades overnight. It did end up just pulling back a little bit and selling off and would have hit full TP. I just don't like holding. I don't like holding this specific strategy's trades overnight. It did give you a pullback and a nice little secondary entry here, and then it's just been very, very weak overall on Pound Aussie. I had said we'll just go up to the higher time frame and take a look at this. This is the weekly fair value gap that had been tested once and twice before, and so I was expecting it to hold again as we are in this consolidation. And I had said, ideally I was looking for a run above that old high and then displace, but it just decided to displace right there. Totally fine. We just adapted and took advantage of it. I still think these relative equal lows are where Pound Aussie may want to get to. I don't know if that's this week or next. It may just want to range, continue. It's pulled back now inside of this consolidation, and it may just want to bounce around here for several more days, and then maybe into next week you get that pop down into those relative equal lows one more time. So it's really just bouncing around between this fair value gap and this fair value gap, and it's just stuck inside this zone. Remember, consolidation. We've had a little bit of manipulation, but not much. And so we were just playing a nice little range trade from the extreme levels, and worked out really nice. The count is sitting at just right at 2% drawdown. And so that was a good trade yesterday. Happy to have taken it, fit all the criteria. We just executed it and let it play out. We have dollar news again this morning, so really no trade opportunity on dollar pairs until after 8:30 again. We've got retail sales and PPI, and I will just stay on the sidelines on the dollar correlated pairs until after that news hits and we see what's going to happen. So we could look at pound yen, pound Aussie, euro yen, euro Aussie, pound CAD, any crosses like that you want to take a peek at, we can. I'm more than happy to. I don't know how long I feel like I want to go today, only just because I did not sleep. I don't feel good. Chat, you're going to have to give me something, man, to work with right now. Oh, that does not feel good. Oh, that's sore. I mean, it kind of feels good because it's hot, but oof. What's up, HT and both? A good morning, Cisco. What's going on? It's always John's fault. Anything that's going wrong on here, we blame John. What's up, Corey? Cisco says, I'm ill too, but live in different countries, so can't be my fault. Sorry you're ill, man. I don't know if you got what I got, but it just is not, it's not good. It's not fun. I don't even know where I'm getting it from or why. Like, I felt like I was fine after my first bout with this stuff. And now here I am again, and it's just all miserable. What's up, George? Welcome in. Have you seen Euro New Zealand? A brutal sell-off. Doesn't look like it's going to give a nice pullback. So Aussie's super strong, and if you just look at Aussie, and I would assume New Zealand dollar probably looks similar to this. But we had this consolidation. We cleared out a little sell side liquidity. Very clear drawn liquidity with relative equal highs, and we have just busted through that now. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Aussie dollar can hold now above this key level. Is this a liquidity run? We had this aggressive run down into, so we cleared out some buy stops, aggressively moved down, and then we've aggressively moved back up. And these are daily candles, so big moves up, big moves down, and now big moves back up. So quite the volatile reaction here on Aussie dollar. I haven't looked at New Zealand dollar. We'll pull that up in a second. But they move fairly cohesively together typically. Very clean relative equal highs here on Aussie dollar, and it's now cleaned out those highs just now this morning after yesterday's big move up. And I'm just wondering what happens from here. Does Aussie dollar continue to recover, or do we find weakness and aim for these excuse me, aim for these lows? You can see from this leg down on the weekly time frame, we do have some small fair value gaps on the weekly time frame up above. You've got some weekly relative equal highs up above it where you consolidated, you ran sell side, you ran buy side, and then you displaced through. The last 3 weeks, up, down, up. So very aggressive, very volatile right now. But it is moving back up into, it looks like, some type of retracement from this leg down. And maybe you stay bullish on Aussie dollar at least until it gets back above this premium line. It's in a discount currently, so you might want to look for sells if you want to get short above that line. And there's a small, tiny fair value gap right there. It's also in line with this this bearish breaker block. I can't even talk. A bearish order block. Oh, up close candles. Once they're broken, they were disrespected. That becomes an order block. And so you might stay bullish on Aussie dollar all the way up until that point before you start thinking, oh, well, maybe it's done. But you did have a huge sell-off on pound Aussie, probably a sell-off on pound New Zealand, Euro New Zealand, Euro Aussie, probably all had big sell-offs since yesterday. Aussie's been very strong. Well, relatively strong in the last few days. Oh, boy. What's up, Red? LOL. Good morning. Good afternoon to you. John, sorry, feel bad. Thanks, man. De Villiers, hey, thought I would pop in and see what's up. Welcome back in, my friend. We're going to be in chill mode until 8:30. I was eyeing this area for a potential sell on euro dollar and pound dollar, but with the news coming in at 8:30, I'm just going to stay out. I don't want to get in to try to short and recover all of this from yesterday's move. It may want to do that. It was quite an aggressive reaction on the dollar, obviously, yesterday. Let's pull that up. So We had this break of structure, a pullback up into this fair value gap, and then a new leg down. If you look at the weekly move is now completely filled in this entire fair value gap. I'm sorry, the monthly has now completely filled in this entire fair value gap. We still have a couple weeks left on this monthly candle, so it'll be interesting to see how it reacts off of this level. It's now completely rebalanced that. On the weekly time frame, a discount, we're back inside a breaker. Well, it just depends on what you want to use as a breaker, but this last up close candle before the leg down to clear out liquidity, you could also use this last up close candle here. But you're back inside of a breaker now. You're just now back into it. We had this range, we just spaced out of it, we've pulled back inside of it. This is going to be a make or break point for me. If the dollar is going to continue to show a lot of weakness and just continue to rapidly decline, I want to see how this week closes. Number one, does it close below this level aggressively? If it does, you've created a bearish order block here. Any move back up into it, you could expect price to continue down. If it closes, if this week reverses here, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the dollar finds strength and we close up above these lows, then no more. I would probably just continue my bullish bias. So don't really know what's going to happen, and I want to see some more. I want to see some more price action. I don't want to get locked into a bias. I think that's what a lot of new traders struggle with is once their bias is wrong, they can't switch. They don't know when to switch. And we've been bullish on the dollar for so long. It just, we've always just been looking for sells on euro dollar and pound dollar for months now. Once you get a shift in structure, it feels so weird to now be to go on the opposite side of what you've been feeling and trading for months. And it really gets tricky. People just they just stay with their bias for so long, and then they keep losing trades. They don't understand why. Well, the higher time frame is shifted. And you've got to be able to shift and move with the market. When the market changes direction, ride the wave in that direction. And knowing when and how to change that bias is key. So you always want to be trying to trade in line with your higher time frame bias as much as possible. And you can see we've had this big run up. We've had accumulation. We were like, is this manipulation? Well, we're going to find out. If it's manipulation if you run sell side liquidity and then you get aggressive displacement away. We got a quick move back up into the range, but then we've immediately sold off again. So this could be your change and break of structure right here. And if that's the case, then any pullbacks up into this area, you would look to sell off. I don't know what else to say about that. We'll just watch and wait. I want to see how the news trades. The other pairs, the other non-dollar correlated pairs, I still feel stronger about right now. Just looking to try to take advantage of them. Currently, dollar's weak. We'll see if it wants to recover any of that move down today with news. Let's see what else we got. What is the other? Let me get to my. Hold on. Dogs want in, dogs want out. Today we have core PPI, we have retail sales, month over month PPI. So we'll be watching to see what the dollar wants to do to react to that. Oh, so tired. Thursday, tomorrow, we've got some unemployment claims. Not a whole lot else. And Friday is really just kind of a blah day. So we'll see how much the dollar wants to recover. I don't think there's going to be a lot of news events that change much or introduce enough into the market that it would want to shift that dramatically and recover the massive move it put in yesterday on CPI. If I was looking on the pound Aussie, I would be looking to this order block here on the 1 hour time frame. Any pullback up into that would be a potential sell opportunity. Pulling back into these breaker blocks, last down close candles before you started running the buy side and then displacing through. If you really wanted to be conservative, you would look up to this 4 hour order block here. This 4 hour order block here that has now been violated, left behind, or about to leave behind. We'll see. We still have a couple hours left. I would imagine that this is going to be a big fair value gap. You could also just wait for a pullback up into this range on pound Aussie as well. I don't know that it needs to get that high. This would be your first opportunity to sell. You could also just target the fair value gap right above it, run that buy side liquidity. You can see on the 30-minute time frame, there's some nice relative equal highs. Keep going down. Nice relative equal highs up there. But this would be your first spot to look for any more sells on pound Aussie. Do remember, Aussie dollar has cleared out the buy side liquidity here, now above these relative equal highs on the daily time frame. So we'll look to see if it can hold this position, or if this is just going to rapidly decline off of this. If it holds it, and if it pulls back, you start seeing some rejection here. You could potentially run that higher. So we'll watch and wait. U.S. oil, very interesting here on U.S. oil. John's going to love this. We've had this big sell-off, pulled right back up into the fair value gap, and we're starting to see more decline. So you had a sell-off. You wait for price to get back up into a premium from the last leg down. It gets back above a premium into a fair value gap, and it's starting to sell back off here on the oil. This is on the daily time frame, by the way. Very, very interesting how it's following a trend now. So if you want to trade in line with the higher time frame trend, it's in an area where you could be looking to sell. And if that's the case, where might that be? Well, you've run buy side liquidity. You're displaced, or this fair value gap is holding price up. But any move back up into, let's get down on the hourly time frame. Any move back up into this area here, inside these fair value gaps, could be potential sells. So you've had this consolidation, you've had manipulation up, immediate displacement, a failure to then continue higher. This order block has held it down. You're moving now below, and you have this small little hourly trend kind of moving up, but this is just a retracement on a higher time frame. This is not your trend. Your trend is down on the daily time frame. So when you marry that with where we're at currently with price action, you've seen a run of liquidity. You've seen another move up back to test this consolidation range and reject off of it, creating displacement down. As price comes back up to rebalance this could be a potential good sell opportunity here on oil. 30-minute time frame, run liquidity, displace away, pulls back up into this area here. You've got some nice fair value gaps to target as entries, very clear area to keep your stop, and you could still get into your TPs. If you were just doing a 1 to 2, you could just target some internal liquidity here on some fair value gaps, or you could just swing this trade back down into this fair. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get this bigger here. You could swing this trade back down into this daily fair value gap here, especially if you get a daily closure below this fair value gap it's in right now. This little one right here from yesterday's low to Friday's high. If you got a closure below that today, that would definitely be a good short signal on oil, and you might be able to swing that down into the new lows. If you're looking for where this might go next on the daily time frame, these swing levels under here would be your targets, ultimately making a new low off of this leg right here. So you're getting a pullback, and you would want to see some move down here on oil. So potential setup there on oil. A lot of guys don't trade that. John likes to trade futures. He asks about oil every now and then. We have kept an eye on it. So there it is. Aussie dollar, again, running this buy side liquidity, starting to get a little bit of a pullback there. Euro dollar selling off of its move down, its fair value gap, and pound as well. So again, I saw this coming into the morning. It's like, man, looks like a good opportunity to sell euro dollar. But with the red folder news coming up, I just don't want to have anything to do with it. Hold on one second. I forgot to open up this stream on my phone just to monitor. All right. Here we go. GJ, again, I don't know that I ever want to sell yen right now. It's so weak, and there's still some very clean buy-side liquidity that it hasn't taken out yet. I mean, this move up on the yen has been pretty crazy, and the Bank of Japan has failed to really do anything to slow this massive rocket-fueled bullish move. And I don't know when it's going to stop, quite honestly, and so I hate to get bearish on yen. So we'll see. I'm just real interested to see how the dollar responds after that big move yesterday. Is this a consolidation day? You get this big move. The very next day, the very next day after a very large move often is consolidation. You don't get super good, strong, clean moves after big, huge consolidation days. And that was a massive move. I mean, what was that? That was a weekly expansion on one candle. I mean, we had a 200 pip move, 069 to 089, a 200 pip move on euro dollar in one day, almost 10 days. 10 days of price action wiped out in one day. So 2 weeks of trading. A range, basically. You're right. We're the daily range. It takes 2 weeks for the daily range to create all of this price action. And then we had a 200 pip move. So are you going to get another 200 pip move today? No, you're not. Not likely. I mean, can it happen? Yeah. But is it likely? No. So just anticipate that you're probably going to be back operating as you normally would in these small little ranges. My goodness. And just be prepared for some chop today. We'll see. I mean, the news we get, the retail sales numbers, maybe it sends it down and we start recovering again. I don't think you're going to recover 200 pips. You're not going to fill in this whole range today. I would be shocked if we did. Shocked. Can it happen? Yeah. I just don't think it's going to happen. That doesn't mean we can't be bearish. It doesn't mean we can't be bullish. It just means that we got to be careful. You got to be careful. Pound yen. Oh, gosh. All right, let me just jump over here to the chat again. I'm going to scroll back up. See, I don't think I missed much, but my oil bias has been wrong for like 3 weeks now, and it really makes me mad at myself. I feel like shorting oil is the only responsible thing to do. Of course, I will buy it, and it will make me eat my long. Well, then don't buy it. Just put a trade copier on your account that takes the opposite thing of what you're doing. I don't know that, again, I don't know that this is a good sell. I'm just looking at the higher time frame, and I'm trying to trade in line with the trend here on oil. We cleared it out. We displaced lower. We came back, rebalanced price, hit that order block, sold off. And we've continued to make lower lows and lower highs. So if you want to trade with the trend, it has reached a level wherein it's retesting a daily breaker block in a fair value gap nested inside a daily breaker. Last down close candles, run buy side liquidity, finally displaced and broke through it, and now coming back up, rejected off of it yesterday. It's just at a pretty clean level that it makes sense that it could just continue down from this location. So I'm not telling you to sell it. This is not financial advice. This is just how I view the charts and the market. So potentially you could get a nice little reaction if it can pull back up into these fair value gaps here. I've been in GU sells all night. Well, you should be well into profit then. Miserable. Yeah, absolutely miserable. Also down on the weekly, oil is about to roll over, so who knows? That will probably be what I use to incorrectly justify me buying it. Oil is my seedy strip club. John, you have multiple kind of sketchy strip clubs you like to hang out in, man. Maybe find a high class joint. What's up, Reggie? John, oil is like the crude cavern, a seedy dive bar that when you walk in, everybody looks at you menacingly. And when you sit down, some rough-looking dudes with leather vests come and demand that you buy them and their friends' beers. Unfortunately, you do so that you don't get beat up. That's my take on me trying to trade oil. The crude cavern. That's funny. I got to switch over to all messages because I feel like I'm missing something. All right, we have news in about an hour. Whew, I'm going to try and gut it out. Owen says, anyone know what I should get my dad for Christmas? I'm trying to get ahead. So that's how I'm asking. So he's approximately 50. Why? So you think, oh, let's come in and ask the old dudes what they want for Christmas. I don't know how I should respond to that. I don't know how I should take that. Or De Villiers, Rolly. That's funny. A new driver. Is he a trader? Does he like to trade, or does he have nothing to do with it? I don't know. What does he like to do? What are his hobbies? And quite honestly, here's what you should get your dad. 100% this is what you should do right here. I'm about to tell you exactly what to do. I don't know your dad, but I promise you, if he's 50 years old, he's my age, he's got kids. I don't know if you have other brothers and sisters or whatever. I don't know your family situation, but listen, I'm not playing around here. Gospel truth right here. This is what you need to get your dad. You need to get him an experience where he can have a memory with you. That's what you need to get your dad. He does not care about you spending money on a material possession that he may or may not use occasionally, now and then. What he wants is time with you. He wants to have an experience with you, a memory that he will hold on to and treasure and cherish for the rest of his life. And I'm not talking about something where you got to spend $1,000 or pounds or whatever it is you use, euros. I'm talking about just something where you and he or you and your family or whatever it is, that he has an experience that he can use to just love being with you in your presence. That's what your dad wants. I don't care how rough he is. I don't care how tough he is. I don't care if he shows emotion or not. I don't care if it's awkward for him to show emotion. What he wants and what will mean more to him than anything in this life is to have an experience and create a memory. So whatever your gift is, think of it in terms of, how can I hang out with my dad and give him a chance to build a memory with me? That will be the best Christmas gift you can give your dad. As a 50-year-old father of four, as an almost 50-year-old father of four, I can promise you, I don't want my kids to give me crap. I don't want them to give me anything. I want to spend time with them. And the older I get and the further away from them that I get, and the further away that they move or their jobs take them or their life is taking them in different directions, the more I cherish the memories I had with them, and the more I want to make more memories with them. And I realize that the opportunities to make those memories get shorter and shorter as the time goes on. So don't try to buy him a watch. Don't try to buy him a driver. Don't try and buy him a new tool. Buy him an experience wherein you and he can create a great memory together. Take him golfing. Take him, you know what I'm saying? Like, just what is it that he likes to do? Or what is it that's something unique that he hasn't done? And go do that with him. I promise you, you will win Christmas with that. Okay. He doesn't golf. He likes going to the gym. Buy him some Venator merch. Yeah, you could always get him the teakwood and oak. It would probably change his life. Took him to an F1 race in June, so that's used up. I guess all the rugby matches are over too. Sorry, Owen, I was driving, but does he drink? Oh, wait, you guys are Irish. Of course he drinks. I always just used to get my dad whiskey, but Brad's advice sounds great. My dad actually doesn't drink. Small retracement on EU, jump right in. The water's warm. Oh, boy. Oh. I'm tired of having all this crap in my nasals and whew. 10-second candle, brah. Bro, we don't trade the 10-second candle. You know this. What's Aussie doing here? Traded back in and below that range there. 30-minute, 1 hour. Yeah. Man, if Pound Aussie could get up just a little bit higher, I would probably be looking to take another sell here. Clay pigeon shooting. Now that sounds awesome, actually, Ben. That sounds awesome. I don't know whether he likes to shoot. I don't know that you guys like to do any of that, but something unique that he's never done before. Axe throwing. I know we have these places here where they're like little venues where you can go and you just throw axes. Like you can either get beer there or you take your drink with you, but you just go throw axes, and it's fun to hang out and talk smack to each other, but you're just chilling and having a good time. I wouldn't be surprised if dollar pumps off the PPI. It may. I don't know that it's going to pump all this. I mean, that's a big, massive pump. I don't know that it recovers that aggressively. Take him some fancy to eat like Olive Garden. Come on, John. We don't have axe throwing places in Ireland. We have axe throwing in England. What would be the? Does he like golf? We have this cool place just down the road. It's called what's it called? Tea Time or something like this. It's an indoor facility where you go in and they have like, I don't know, like eight bays, and they all have those video screen for golfing, so that like if it's raining or whatever, you can go in and you can just hit into but it's got the video screen, so it's like a virtual thing. You can even have games. It can do different games where you have to, just do different stuff with it. We have another place here in the States called Top Golf, where it's just like this huge, tall golfing driving range bay, but you're hitting out into this really cool fake fairway that has all of these different greens, and it's got neon lights, and it lights up when you hit the balls in certain areas. And again, you can keep score with different kinds of ways. That's really fun too. You can eat and drink and all that kind of stuff. It could just be whatever. It could be you just drive him back down memory lane. You're just going to spend the day together, and you're just going to take him to like 4 or 5 different places of just relive some old memories with him, like where he went to high school, or where the house he grew up in, or eating at his favorite childhood restaurant. I mean, it's just whatever. It's like, just put some thought and creativity into how can I hang out with my dad and give him an experience with me that he'll be like, dang, I'm so glad you didn't buy me something. This is the best way. This is the best gift you could have given me, is just some personal, meaningful time with you. That will mean more to him than anything else. Axe throwing, but everyone is throwing axes around. I mean, you have like you're in a kind of like contained thing. It's not like axes from somebody else's like bay is going to come over and hit you. It doesn't work like that. He's Irish, not Scottish. Top Golf, if you have it in your country, is pretty cool. Yep. Ben says CPI move was crazy yesterday, considering inflation came in pretty much as expected. A 200 pip move on GU. Haven't seen a daily candle like that for a long time. British CPI came in today, also 0.1% below expectation, yet GU only moved 30 pips off that news. That's what I'm saying. Like, the news yesterday was so big, you may not get very many. You may not get very much in the way of movement today. your movement was yesterday, and today could just be some consolidation. Could just be some consolidation. And, is what it is. It's fine. It just may not be a great day to trade. Well, I mean, in the end, we'll find out. It's TBD. We'll find out. Oh, God. I need this to go away. Again, this level here on Aussie dollar, pretty key. And all these relative equal highs up here. Let's run through it. It'd be interesting to see how we close with this today on Aussie dollar. If this candle were to reverse and close bearish today, not a good look for Aussie dollar. Maybe we just trade oil today. Maybe we'll just trade oil. I mean, why not? Why not? Okay, so if you don't like the fancy restaurant Olive Garden, you should try another fancy restaurant, Red Lobster. So their biscuits, Red Lobster biscuits, worth going to Red Lobster just for the biscuits. And it's approaching a very sad day here on the Venator Trading channel. We have used up the teakwood and oak candle by Leo Ben Candle Company. There is I think this could be the very last day. If not today, it will be tomorrow, I think. But the teakwood and oak has been good to us, and I need to get another one. There's just not much left in there for it to burn down and melt away. We're at the bottom of the wick. I can see the little metal candle that the wick is attached to. I mean, the little metal spike. There's just not much wax left. And now teakwood and oak has not reached out in any form or fashion and offered to replace this. So that just, it's very unfortunate, very sad. Red Lobster is really good. Their biscuits at Red Lobster are worth, it doesn't matter what else you get there, just go get the biscuits and you're gonna be golden. 45 more minutes until we get the news. And I'm starting to wake up now. Now that I've been going and waking up, I do feel a little bit better. So maybe we'll stick around till then. Why not? Chat's going to have to keep it going, though, because I can feel myself if I stop talking. I'm just going to go into like a zone and just be quiet. And then that's not going to be good for the stream. I'm in San Jose next week for work and not looking forward to it. There seems to be little to do, and I love trading London. That's going to be tough. Let's see, San Jose, that's 2 hours behind me. So what is that? It's like midnight. Is that midnight in California for the London session? That's not too bad. It's like 2 in the morning for me in the Houston. Staying up till midnight to trade London doesn't seem as miserable as getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to try to trade London. So it may not be horrible. Well, don't go out. There's your problem. There's your problem. You gotta have priorities, man. Do I want to go out and get blackout drunk and then try to trade London? Or do I just want to tell everybody, hey, thanks for a good time. I'm going to go in, check in, and then get ready to knock it out. I've had pretty good luck trading London session without ever being awake to trade the London session. I say luck. It's not luck. The strategy that I use, I often find good success in the London session without ever having to wake up to do it. Come on. I'm gonna get a little oil settlement here. Putting in a settlement on the WTI oil settlement here. I want to see it pull back. And the reason I'm putting it exactly where I'm putting it, let me just run it down for you. I want an entry above 50% of this last leg down. And I'm targeting this basically a optimal trade entry. And you've got a fair value gap right here. And it's in line with, you'll look here, before we started running liquidity. Last down close candle before we started clearing out this buy side. We did run more buy side, but this is the breaker I'm going to be using. Order block. Wick up above this order block. Get above the 50% line there. On the 1 hour, you can see it as well. We broke through these fair value gaps, inverted fair value gap entry. So we're just anticipating a move back up into and rebalance this price zone here, and then make a new leg down, targeting this swing low and these fair value gaps underneath here. That's what we're looking for on oil. So got that sell limit set. Find something to trade and a good setup that has nothing to do with, I mean, I guess the dollar is going to have something to do with oil at some point, but it's not necessarily completely dollar. It's not, it's more, truly is more supply and demand based than anything. Blackout drunk sounds terrible. Yeah, dude, I can't remember the last time I was blackout drunk. It was a long, long, long time ago. It's only happened. I've only been blackout drunk maybe twice in my life, and that was decades ago. The crude Cav and careful. You go in thinking it's an interesting bar. You leave reeking of cigarettes and sporting a black eye. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you do. Coming into the close here of this hour. About 7 more minutes left. I don't know what's going to happen when these retail sales numbers come out, but it really just would not surprise me if we get a choppy price action day. After that big move yesterday, just not a lot may happen. You get these big, huge moves, and everybody's like, oh, I'm going to catch another big move today, and it just rarely plays out like that. Ideally, I'd like to see this the body of this candle respect this fair value gap, and then the next candle open and wick up into this fair value gap and then start pulling back. What's the 4 hour got? We still have an hour left on the 4 hour candle, setting up nicely into this order block right here. Bearish order block. So you've got this, you have this big 4 hour drop creating a bearish order block. Pull right back up into it next hour, and then the next 4 hour candle opens and we push down throughout the rest of New York. That's the anticipation here, that this 4 hour high does not get violated. The daily high is in, basically, is what we're anticipating here, that this is going to be a swing level and the daily high is in on oil. Oh. Yeah, I just don't want to care anything about it. I don't even want to look at that until the news hits. What's up, Dunamis? Welcome in, man. Oh. Chat, you need to give me something to talk about, man. Why is all this cash sitting over here? I don't know. Anybody else frankly surprised that ICT hasn't been back on Twitter yet? I'm a little bit surprised by this. He hasn't been goaded in to reveal himself. Said he'll be off. Well, we all know what he said, Reggie. We also know he can't help himself. I would be absolutely floored if that man stayed off of social media and stayed off of Twitter until February. Floored. I don't think anyone believes him. That's for sure. All right, new hour is finally upon us, so we can start the news countdown clock here. So what I'm hoping here is that this hourly candle pushes up. This hourly candle respected this fair value gap, so I need this hourly candle to push up into this new fair value gap here, right above, into that premium level of our last leg down. Rebalance this move overnight, and then drop like a rock. Just drop like a rock. That's all we need. Cooperating so far. Not tagged in on anything here. You do realize that overall more traders do not know who ICT versus those who do recognize him. He's not as famous as people make him out to be. Only in he's famous in the circles he's famous in. The Forex world, fairly renowned in that he's a polarizing figure, and most people know who he is just based on his polarization and his cult-like following in the Forex world. And yes, I do realize that overall he's just a very small fish in a very large pond, and that there are many other. The trading world is much, much bigger than ICT following. It just so happens that a lot of the viewers on here know who he is and are familiar with his personality and his shtick and his profile and all that. The futures world, yeah, not well known. John, do you still watch that guy Cami Capital, the dude from New Zealand, or anybody else? I haven't kept up with him recently, wondering how he's doing with his funding challenges. I find out about ICT only shortly before finding out about Venator. There's a lot of people that don't know who ICT is. That's 100%. The trading world is a lot bigger than most people realize. A lot bigger. Which is why when you think about, I have 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Well, actually just over 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I have about 15 people watch every day. I'm this little thing we do here is basically nothing. It is a dust mote in the eye of the trading world. We did not get triggered in on that push up on the hourly open, sadly. We got right up to it, but we did not get triggered in. I wanted this fair value gap. So again, let's just look at what we were looking for here. Oh, dang it. We were looking for price to get back into a premium level to sell. It did. It got above that 50% line. And I was identifying a fair value gap above the 50% line, which is also in line with the OTE optimal trade entry area, which is representative of a deeper pullback on a retracement leg. We did get the push up right into the breaker block there, but I wanted the fair value gap up here. I wanted price to come up into this, and it did actually get up into that fair value gap right there. So technically I just missed my order. I misplaced my order if that's the case, because I was targeting an entry off of that fair value gap. It did get it, but sadly it did not get up higher than it needed to go. We'll leave it. Maybe we'll get a small pullback here, another push up into that into that level. I don't know that we will. I think that may have been the push, and we just got swerved. I mean, why would anybody be surprised by this? Why would anybody be surprised by this? He and I know each other well enough to message each other. I haven't watched Cammy in a while because he has switched over to scalping the NQ, and that's not my thing, really. The last I saw, he had moved up off the 1 or the 3 minute chart and had moved back up to like the 5 or the 15 minute. Is he back down on the lower time frames? It's also in the afternoon, and that's when I'm typically blackout drunk. Oil trying to get back up there. Still not triggered in. I'm going to leave my order where it is. I'm not going to move it down. It's either going to give me the entry I want or it's not, and that's fine. If it swerves me, it swerves me. Stone to the bone. Child of the 70s right there. It's kind of weird to think that when we're old and decrepit, like people will look back and be like, man, that guy was born in the 1900s. That's what they're going to say about us. He was born in the late 1900s. He was born in the old millennium. What a time to be alive, man. We didn't just live through a decade. We didn't just live through a century. We lived through a millennium. Pretty cool. ICT wrote 2 days ago, I think, now deleted, that he will post chartered material on YouTube before Christmas to for people who are selling his material. I thought he already released all of his material, and who actually gives a crap? No, like, what else is it that you think the man's going to say to help you? There's all that you need is already provided. You don't need charter material from 2015. It's not like there's something secret in there that he hasn't revealed already. The man has given you, if you really want to trade ICT concepts, you don't need any more. The more you get, the more frustrated you're just going to get with it. I promise you. And he's gotten, no matter what you think of the guy, he's become a better teacher in the later years than he was in 2012 or 15 or 18. The way he explains things now, cleaner, simpler. Now, is he full of himself? Yeah. Does he talk in riddles and rhymes? Yes. But the actual concepts about how you can view the market moving, you don't need any more material from anyone, from me or anyone else. Swear to God, you have all you need. It just comes down to execution right now. That's it. Well, still getting swerved there on oil. Unfortunate. Jeez, I hate that. Hey, love. You need to go to the doctor.
not the one coughing up my lung. What way you're leading tonight?
Well, there goes the drop on oil that we were looking for without getting our entry. That's unfortunate. Klaus says, I don't trade ICT methods. I think he's out off space. I trade my own methods. I'm only here for the fun of it. Will be compared to the old gold prospectors with the wild hair Baird, who's slightly crazy. 49ers. I don't know why they were called the 49ers. I'm sure somebody does. But those are the guys you're talking about. Man, what a if this just drops, so unfortunate. God, within I am a classic swerve trader, man. All you have to do is just take my entries, move them up or down by a couple pips depending on which way you want to go, and you're going to get some of the most sniper entries ever. And I'm going to miss them. All right, about 15 more minutes until we get our economic impact news with retail sales and PPI coming in. So we'll see what kind of day is going to unfold after that moves. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about changing it, and this is actually a bad trading. This was my mistake entry because I really wanted that. I wanted a touch of that fair value gap, and I just misplaced my entry on. I just misplaced my entry. It still could come up and get us in. I just don't. I'm not going to anticipate that. I think what I wanted to see happened. I wanted to see that last hourly candle respect this fair value gap. I wanted to see the new candle wick up into this one, which it did. Here on the 15-minute time frame, you can see it. This order block right here, this 15-minute order block, 15-minute breaker. Unfortunate. What's down here? Very, very unfortunate there. All right, I'm going to stay through the news release, see what kind of volatility comes in, and then I'm probably going to get off. While I'm here talking about it, Stream is sponsored by the Bespoke Funding Program. Very excited to partner with them and glad that they're a part of our Venator Stream sponsor. Definitely recommend you check out their challenge with them, and you can get 15% off any of those challenges by using the discount code Venator when you go to checkout. You get 85% profit split along with that 15% off. So take advantage of that. It does help support the stream here. Keep everything else we're doing for free, which I want to try to do as long as possible. All of you OG people that are here now and that are in the Discord, it's always going to be free for you. I don't know that it's going to be free forever for everyone else. So if you're watching now and you're part of the Discord family, you're in. If that ever changes. Which I don't know that it will. I'm just saying, if it ever did, y'all don't have to worry about it. Man, I really wanted that oil mover right there. New 15-minute candle has opened. Did Euro take out? No, it still hasn't taken out yesterday's high. DXY also has not taken out yesterday's low. So oh, man, dang it, that stinks. There's a girl who trades oil. I think pretty much exclusively. What's her name? She's I don't know if she's super popular, but she has a decent following. I can't remember her name. She streams. I'm not sure if it's public or if it's private, but what's her name? She's a big oil trader. She just trades trend lines, I think. That's all she does. Trades trend lines. Deanna with Market Stalkers. No, it's not. It's not Deanna. She's a young girl. Well, Tori. Yeah, that's it. Tori Trades. Tori Trades. That's the one. She's a big oil trader. I look. This is a beautiful little move here on oil, as expected. I would expect it to continue to drop here, but if it doesn't, that's fine. We might still get an entry. But this is just a really nice, very nice mechanical pullback, very clean price action, displacement, rebalance, continue a leg down. 1 hour is just really nice. Run some buy side liquidity, displace through, come rebalance that fair value gap. Get the heck out of Dodge. Anybody take that oil trade? Anybody able to get into it? I did not. I got swerved by a tick or two, unfortunately. It would be, let's see, 55. Let's see, it's probably about half hour. Just over half an R profit right there. I wished, but didn't. It's a good move. Just a good move right there. Let's see, 1R would be right there. It's almost 1R in profit. Dang it, man. I would probably move to break even if it broke and made a new low down here. Somewhere around 77.40. Is where I'd probably go to break even if I was in that trade. Got about 8 more minutes here before our dollar correlated news comes out. Oof. Those are rough right there. Those are rough. If it does break these lows, I'll cancel this order. I'm not gonna wait. Once it taps into that sell side and rebalances this fair value gap over here, I wouldn't want to see it come back up. I would want to see it just keep dropping. Does look like the daily high's in place there though. Off the London session. Oh. Only Venator getting swerved on his oil entry. You know, just the typical stuff that you always see here. Ugh. Oil is not in. We got swerved, buddy. Would have been a great entry if someone had gotten into it. It definitely got to 1R there, I believe. Not quite 1R. 1R is just a couple ticks lower there. Sorry, guys, I had to answer a couple messages there. All right, we got about 45 seconds. Those are not my dogs. They're somebody else's. All right, so here we go. Core PPI, core retail sales, incoming. Pop up. PPI was forecast at 0.1, came in at 0.5. Negative. And retail sales was forecast at 0.1 and actually came in. Forecast at negative 0.3, came in at negative 0.1. So probably going to be bearish, some bearish moves for the dollar there. Taking out yesterday's low. We have not taken out yesterday's high on euro dollar. It's very interesting. Nothing major. So you got your Judas swing up, it looks like, and ran some liquidity. Dollar took out its low, is ripping higher. Euro dollar fell to take out its high. Pound fell to take out its yesterday's high. Oil, I would definitely be, it's now at 1R, just below that low. If you're in that oil trade, I would move to break even. I don't think anybody is. No one probably took that with me. What's up, Ansab? Welcome in, buddy. News probably just being used to rebalance some yesterday. Yeah, I mean, it may not be a bad idea to short if you got a clean break of structure, and you might be able to target a short here, rebalance some of that big move. Also, just don't be surprised if this just chops. It just sets up a choppy day. Don't be surprised by that. If Aussie dollar displaces off of here and leaves behind a nice little gap, you could use that as the high of the day, maybe even the high of the week, high of the day, and trade off of a breaker in here. Man, that just irks me when I get swerved like that, especially when I just misplaced my entry. I wanted a touch of that fair value gap, and I just put my entry too far up on my MT4 account, and that just sucks, y'all. It just really sucks. Basically a no drawdown trade, pretty much straight to break even. Really, really nice setup, and I just didn't get in. That's not cool. Oh. Again, if it breaks that low, I'll definitely cancel this order on oil. The move was missed. Didn't get our entry. My trade today hit stop loss and only went 2 pipettes beyond before going in my direction. God, those also suck really bad. The best thing to do is if your stop loss gets hit, don't watch. Just turn everything off and don't watch what happens after that. I think we get some chop. Y'all. That's my gut feeling. All right. I think I'm done. I had a good setup on oil, just missed our entry. Dollar, the news came out. It's just whipsawed back and forth a little bit. We'll wait and see if we get some closures above or below, sell side, buy side. Watch for the classic displacement and then look for the retraces. Potentially I think what I'm looking for is if this Aussie dollar retrace We've pumped up above buy side liquidity here. We've cleared it out, so we get displacement here. You could potentially look for some type of sell, have the high of the day in place, and you could target some of these liquidity areas that were left yesterday. For sure, maybe that level doesn't give you a good 1 to 2 if you're using the high of the day. You would probably be looking at more like that first fair value gap on the hourly time frame would give you a 1 to 2. So you might be able to do something like that. But just wait and see how this 15-minute candle closes, if it leaves behind a gap on the next 15-minute candle, etc. You know the drill. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Same on euro dollar, pound dollar, all of that. We'll just be watching to see what it wants to do. But I'm going to go try to get rest up a little bit and see if I can feel better. But we'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, New York, 7 a.m. time. And I'll post anything else on Discord. So you guys stay safe. Happy hunting. Again, if oil breaks these lows, I will cancel that trade. If it moves back up here and gives me one more chance to get in, I'll probably leave that set. I want to see it break these lows before I would cancel that order. If it's going to leave that sell side in place, it's going to leave it there so that it can tap into it later. And so that's what I want to see. If it breaks it, I'll cancel it. If not, maybe we get one more chance. So y'all stay safe, happy hunting, and we'll see y'all in the morning. Adios, guys.